Good morning. Good morning and welcome to meditation with the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Janelle Carroll and I am a licensed religious science practitioner here at the center. And I'm so grateful to be with you this morning during meditation. As always, I invite you to take those deep, slow breaths to center yourself, finding the perfect rhythm that is yours, the perfect stride of breathing, releasing any tension, any discomfort, any discord with every exhale, and breathing in deeper into that space deep within. You came here to go there. What a beautiful morning. Beautiful fall, autumn morning. I find myself staring at sky and at clouds. Blue sky and the sun piercing through those clouds. The chill of this time of year when the weather starts cooling down. Last night I found myself curled in a favorite chair with a mug of warm chocolate almond milk, curled up and comfortable. And I looked at that blue clay coffee mug, handmade. And I remembered a friend, my friend Daria. That blue clay coffee cup was made with the hands of a wonderful, bubbly Korean woman who was my teacher and the teacher of countless other pottery students at the art center where I worked. There's something about that mug, holding it in my hands, knowing that it was shaped by a friend and a teacher. And I remember the lessons, that the preparation of that clay, the medium with which we were working. To prepare clay we had to wedge it. To wedge it is to sort of knead it, to fold it over. And the part that I loved most and the children loved the most, to grab it and just slam it onto the table. Just a powerful, satisfying thunk as it hit that table. To wedge the clay, to slam it. And you wedge the clay to prepare it, to get it ready for the crafting, to get it ready to be shaped. This wedging makes it pliable. It removes the impurities. It gets out any air pockets, anything that's in there that might restrict the creation. Wedging the clay, a step before the creative process. I remember walking into the studio, the smell of that wet dust, the sound of the pottery wheels turning, and that thunk on the table as the clay was wedged. The feeling of that gritty, moist medium in front of me, that clay waiting, wedged and ready. John Randolph Price says, Spirit is the substance, the omnipresent substance of the universe. Ernest Holmes said, spiritual substance is all around us waiting to be formed. Spiritual substance is all around us waiting to be formed. I am spiritual substance. I am God stuff, forming God stuff out of God stuff. I am potter and I am clay. And this morning I remember the words of an old hymn. It's not that old, 1900. Have thine own way. Have thine own way, Lord, have thine own way. Thou art the potter. I am the clay. Mold me and shape me after thy will. While I am willing, yielded, and still. Spirit, have thine own way. In Science of Mind, we don't draw the distinction between God's will and my will. I am God stuff, creating God stuff out of God stuff. My will and God's will are one will, shaping the substance of the universe. Our thoughts shape the substance of the universe, co-creating it with that potter as the clay is the clay. And so we are the potter and the clay and the creation, the manifestation, the demonstration. Our thoughts mold the substance of the universe, the spiritual substance waiting to be formed. As sure and true as a blue clay coffee cup. So this morning I invite you to picture the very substance of the universe, wedged and ready, removed of all impurities. It sits in front of you, waiting to be formed by your thoughts. Oh, the thinks you can think. What will you think into that substance of the universe, that lump of clay before you, waiting to be formed? And as we move into some moments of no words, music, I invite you to think, what will you form from the omnipresent substance of the universe that sets before you, waiting for your creative thoughts to form it? What will you form? What will you think? What will you create from that substance of the universe? Before you sits the omnipresent substance of the universe, the spiritual substance waiting to be formed. What will you create? Now drawing attention back to your breath, to the space and the pace of this place. and this time. Becoming aware again of the concrete substance around you, your body, the room, the sounds that you hear. Again, becoming present to the space where you are right now. I thank you for being present at meditation this morning. Namaste.
Good morning. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Joanie Bauman. I'm a CCSL practitioner, and I'll be giving you the announcements today. Due to our current pandemic, we will be offering our Sunday celebration live stream to our YouTube channel at Columbus CSL, and it will be posted later to our Facebook page. Please feel free to share our service from our YouTube channel to your own Facebook page. Please join us for our Wednesday Community Connection from 7 to 8 p.m. See your CCSL Weekly Word e-newsletter for the Zoom sign-in or contact the CCSL office. You can also find the Zoom sign-in on our Facebook page. We will begin working with Colin Tippin's book, Radical Forgiveness. Also, see Rev Gregory's private Facebook group called the CCSL Spiritual Practice Group, and everyone is invited to join this page. Everyone is invited to join us today for our CCSL community meeting from 12 to 2 p.m. via Zoom. This meeting will be focusing on how we're doing as a community, and we will share some results from the Sunday service survey that we just sent out. We will get updates from the Court Council and other leaders, and the community will have an opportunity to ask questions and share ideas. We really look forward to your participation. It's so valuable for us to continue dialoguing with one another and evolving our beautiful spiritual community. See your CCSL Weekly Word e-newsletter for the Zoom sign-in link. Coming up this Friday, Open Hearts, Open Mic, October 19th at 7 p.m. Join us for the celebration of community and creativity, and our own Kristen Pierce will be emceeing, and we'll be featuring the smiling Ralph Leeseberg and the melodic duo Holly and Abby of the Bhakti Mamas. If you'd like to share your gifts at the show, contact Jim Hetzer at jahetzer@sbcglobal.net. For those of you listening, that's jahetzer@sbcglobal.net to be added to the lineup. We're really excited to have our next parking lot service on Sunday, October 18th, rain or shine. Rev Gregory Toole and practitioner Julie Matheson will be joining us as well in person. So this is something you won't want to miss. The parking lot will be open for your arrival at 9:30 a.m. and our parking lot team will joyfully show you where to park. All you need to do is tune your car radio to FM 93.9 and you can listen to the entire service from the comfort of your vehicle. If you'd rather be outside your vehicle, you're welcome to bring a chair, and please wear your mask if you do so and practice social distancing. This service will take place at the Northwest Masonic Temple. Have you been looking forward to the start of Science of Mind certified classes? Well, look no further. The time has arrived. We will start a brand new class called Spiritual Principles and Practices. This will be an online certified class with Reverend Amy Papadoupoulos and Reverend Gregory Toole. It will begin on Saturday, October 31st, Halloween, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and it is a 5-week class. The investment is $200, which includes the workbook, a certificate from the CSL Home Office, and it also counts toward practitioner training prerequisites. Payment plans and partial scholarships are available. To register, contact Robin Brookhouse at robin at spirituallivingcolumbus.org. More announcements, so don't go away. Join us for our next virtual choir project. All you need is a smartphone and the willingness to sing. We will take care of the technical stuff. Everyone is welcome to participate, whether you are in the choir or not. The music team is looking forward to co-creating something special with you. And personally, I hope we have more participants because I'm excited to join this. Contact Carissa Holmes at carissacreates.com. That's CARISA at carissacreates.com if you're interested. You are the face of God. Tired of not seeing your friends and family in person? Well, we have a way to help us share shining smiles, sparkling eyes in the community's face, mask or no mask, in our Sunday celebration. We'd like to do this by collecting pictures of CCSL community members, supporters, new visitors, guests, and friends to share in our virtual Sunday service. Please send us a picture of yourself. Let us see you and what you are up to in these unique times. Show us your favorite mask, maybe your pets, your garden, your COVID project, what you're doing, and whatever you want to share. We have very great technical folks here that can put it all together, so we have something very unique. Send your pictures to Robin at spirituallivingcolumbus.org so we can share the faces of God in our virtual Sunday celebration. And importantly, if you would like prayer after service or anytime throughout the week, you can find our prayer practitioners on our website, columbuscsl.org, or you can submit a prayer request on our website, and we'd be glad to pray with you. That's the news for today. Let's all sing our opening song.
Open up and be yourself. Open up and free yourself and shine that light. Speak your mind. Show them who you really are. Show them you're a shining star, a brilliant light. The week was long, but now we're lighting up so bright. Our open hearts show the love we feel inside, and this happiness we share with you. Open up and be yourself. Open up and free yourself and shine that light. The week was long, but now we're lighting up so bright. Our open hearts show the love we feel inside, and this happiness we share with you. Open up and be yourself. Open up and free yourself and shine that light. Open up and be yourself and shine that light. Open up and be yourself and shine that light.
Thank you, Carissa and Tony. Beautiful. Shine that light. Good morning and welcome. Excuse me, I am Rev Gregory Toole, and I am your interim minister. And I want to let you know that we are an inclusive organization. We embrace every person. We embrace you exactly as you are, for who you are, as that unique way that you are expressing the divine. We embrace you. We love you. We think you're wonderful because you are. Thanks for joining us this morning on our YouTube channel at Columbus CSL. And if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And be sure to ring the bell and give a thumbs up on YouTube, and we'd be glad to have you. A recording of today's service will also be posted on our Facebook page. And right now, I'd love for us to read our mission statement together. So please read this statement along with me as it comes up on the screen. We serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community, using spirit and science of mind principles as our compass. I'd like to thank practitioner Janelle Carroll for the meditation this morning and for holding the virtual high watch and for our service today. And now I'd like to bring back practitioner Joanie Bauman, who will be assisting us with the service. Joanie.
We now begin our sacred service. I would like to introduce our community member, Jay Westfall, who will be giving us the reading this morning. Jay?
Good morning. A reading from the Science of Mind textbook. Spiritual substance is all around us, waiting to be formed. Thus, we see what Jesus meant when he said, "And I say unto you, ask, and it shall be given unto you." The law must work in compliance with our demand. The divine urge within us is God's way of letting us know that we should push forward and take that which is waiting our demand. If the good were not already ours in the invisible supply, it would be impossible for us to procure it in any manner.
Now let the music take us within. And as we contemplate these beautiful words, Om Namah Shivaya, I am conscious of Spirit's presence, infinite love, and generosity. The love of the all good is within me and everyone in this gathering, and radiates to all and is flowing through all. We are one with the universal essence of life, and every attribute of good is our inheritance. I claim that we are abundantly supplied with everything that makes for beauty, well-being, progressive living, prosperity, and happiness. The gifts of the Spirit are ours to receive, and we accept these gifts with gratitude, expectancy, and joy. Our cup is overflowing, and I know this service is in divine order, perfect and blessed, lifting us up with the power and the wholeness of the One. I release this understanding of our prosperity. It is our truth into the law, knowing that it is already done. And with a grateful heart for this loving and enlightened presence within, please join me in saying, and so it is.
When I first was aware there's something out there which we all share, took off my mask and I started to ask of the people who care. And now the more that I seek, the more that I find the light that has always shone through. When you know that it's true, it will happen for you. When you know that it's true, it will happen for you. When you learn how to feel, you will see that it's real. When you feel that it's right, it will come overnight. When you know that it's true, it will happen for you. I spent my share of time all alone, and I never thought I would find any kind of a match for my heart, much less someone to help with my mind. And then suddenly I saw the light in your eyes and the love that was shining in you. When you know that it's true, it will happen for you. When you know that it's true, it will happen for you. When you see that it's real, you will learn how to feel. When you feel that it's right, it will come overnight. When you know that it's true, it will happen for you. If you have what you want, you can have many things without happiness. Today all the things that I want are the things that I have, so it's working, I guess. And now the joy that I have keeps on growing, because it's just a reminder of you. When you know that it's true, it will happen for you. When you know that it's true, it will happen for you. When you learn how to feel, you will see that it's real. When you feel that it's right, it will come overnight. When you know that it's true, it will happen for you.
Thank you, Ralph. Beautiful song as always. Good morning again. So happy to be here with you this morning. And I want to start off by talking about, excuse me, about our focus for this month of October and even into part of November. We're going to focus on prosperity, and some of us got a little bit of a head start on it by doing the 40-day prosperity challenge. Some people are still continuing with that. So we're going to be all prayed up around prosperity by the time we get through November. How beautiful is that? And one of the things that we're going to be doing around this is our annual pledge campaign. And planning that pledge campaign is our newly formed Prosperity Corps, which is kind of the brainchild of Kristen Piers. And Kristen is someone who is now chairing that Prosperity Corps. And I want to put up the mission statement for that Prosperity Corps, and then we'll introduce all of the Prosperity Corps members in just a moment. So this is the mission statement that we came up with for the Prosperity Corps. Our mission is to hold space, spark ideas, and offer strategies and programs for the expanding prosperity of Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, its members, and friends. We fully embody the consciousness of abundance in our daily lives. We are a prosperous and sustainable community that joyfully serves as a model for other spiritual organizations who are seeking growth. And so there it is. It's a very exciting new endeavor. And let me introduce the Prosperity Corps members. We have Reverend Amy Papadoupolo. I might have even pronounced that correctly today. We have Kristen Piers as the chair of the Corps, practitioner Julie Matheson, also Carissa Holmes, and Robin Brookhouse is supporting us in a auxiliary fashion right now as we do the pledge campaign. And I am also a part of that corps. So please give a vibrational virtual hug and applause for this wonderful group that is birthing wonderful things. Thank you all for your service. Yes, so today is our first prosperity talk, and the talk today is titled Divine Substance Like Clay in Your Hands. And I want to start off by talking about, because the very underpinning of all the spiritual teachings around prosperity are really about God as our source. And then more specifically, because when we say God is our infinite source, or God is our unlimited source, or Spirit is our unlimited source, there's a very important word that we need to insert in there, and that word is within. Spirit within me, Spirit within you is my unlimited source, is your unlimited source. And it's very important, because otherwise it doesn't feel very grounded or very empowering. It's just kind of like somewhere out there, Spirit or God is my unlimited source. But no, what we're saying is Spirit within me is my unlimited source. And one of the things that science is confirming, I was just watching a little program with Deepak Chopra recently, and one of the things that science is confirming is what the yogis refer to as essentially as that we're a field of energy. As spiritual beings having a human experience, we're a field of energy ultimately. And in this talk that Deepak was giving, he told the audience, he said, every one of you has an energy field that's at least 8 feet out from where you are. And I think as we discover that more, we're going to see that not only is it 8 feet out, it really goes out to infinity, and it's what connects us all in the oneness of all of life. And so this energy goes out from us, and our alignment, what is the quality of this energy that is going out from us, is really connected into our beliefs, our attitudes, our thoughts, that ultimately become our vibration and ultimately become this energy that we emit. And then, of course, that is what comes back to us and what we draw into our experience. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook said that, and Janelle quoted this in her meditation as well, that spiritual substance is all around us waiting to be formed. Spiritual substance is all around us waiting to be formed. In other words, there's a creative medium, there's a law that's always responding to us, and there's an energy, there's a vibration that we emit that is literally sending this substance forth and molding it like clay in our hands, molding it into the forms that we declare. One of the things that we would need to do, and that we do need to do, and that's really important, is that we have to be willing to accept more good. If we want to have more good, if we want to experience more good, we have to be willing to claim it, to declare it, and to accept it, and to make sure that we're not arguing for our limitations. When I first came into the teaching, I was doing a lot of arguing for my limitations. When they started talking all this prosperity stuff, and spirit is my unlimited source, and all of this, it just sort of seemed to go in the face of all the practical things I had learned and getting an MBA and my blue collar upbringing that said I had to struggle and strain and sweat for every penny I would earn. And I slowly began to embrace this and let that stop arguing for my limitations, to argue for, no, this isn't true. No, I have to do this and I have to do that. And to start to open up to say, okay, I'd be willing. If this is true, I'd be willing to experience the fruits of this. I'd be willing to experience more. And so that started to have that substance be the clay in my hands, because I started to affirm something different about my life. I started to affirm that I did not have to be in struggle and strain. I started to affirm that life can unfold with ease and grace sometimes, and maybe all the time. I started to affirm that I am rich and prosperous and wealthy beyond measure. I started to claim that for myself, and my life began to shift, and I began to have experiences of prosperity that would have before seemed impossible to me, because the only prosperity I could have imagined before was that which I gained through great struggle, strain, and sweat of my brow. I was not probably not even willing, I was not even willing to accept the grace of spirit. I was not even willing to accept prosperity coming into my life with ease. Like, how could I be worthy of that? How could I be deserving of that? And yet, what Ernest Holmes teaches us is that the law, the spiritual law, this creative medium that surrounds us and is always receiving the impress of our thoughts, our beliefs, our attitudes, our vibration, it's always receiving that and then producing in like kind in our experience. He says this spiritual law is no respecter of persons, and this spiritual law simply knows to obey. And then he goes further to say that this law does not need to be coerced. Isn't that beautiful? This law does not need to be coerced. You know, we don't have to beat on this law. We don't have to, vigorously speak unto this law. This law receives the impress of our thought, the impress of our vibration, the impress of our beliefs and our attitudes, basically the impress of how we show up toward life, the relationship that we cultivate with life. Are we fighting life? Are we resisting life? Are we believing in struggle and strain? Or are we believing that we're deserving of all good and willing, of course, to do our part? Not to say we, espousing laziness here. So we're willing to do our part, but we're also realizing that this law, this creative medium, does not need to be coerced, that it responds to us, and what we produce corresponds to our beliefs, our thoughts, our attitudes, ultimately our vibration. So kind of staying with this idea a little bit more of spirit as our unlimited source, because this is the underpinning. This is the perfect thing to be talking about on the first day of our prosperity series, because the underpinning of all of this is that spirit within is our unlimited source. So I want to share a little, well, first I want to share something from Ernest Holmes in the book, How to Change Your Life. And it's really about that. Sometimes we think of money and material things as not spiritual. Oh, I'm too spiritual. I had a definitely a sense that there was a virtue in poverty, you know, that if I take a vow of poverty, that there was some virtue in that. Not that I ever have, but there was a belief in me that there would be some virtue in that. There'd be some virtue in being poor. And hey, you know, being poor is okay if that's what we choose as well. There are those that choose that. But let's hear what Ernest Holmes had to say about that. He says, learn to draw on your spiritual bank account. Please keep clearly in mind that it is spiritual, that everything, including money, is spirit, mind, God, either visible or invisible. Every tangible thing you see, possess, or contact in any way is but an expression of spirit. In other words, it's all spirit, it's all God. There's not, this is spiritual and that's not spiritual. It's all sacred. He says that every tangible thing you see, possess, or contact in any way is but an expression of spirit manifesting according to a pattern. If you want more money, you merely need to place your order in this cosmic storehouse to have a greater supply of good become tangible in your experience. So this is what we're working with here. We're working with that everything is divine, everything is sacred, and that, you know, there's that phrase from scripture that talks about the love of money being the root of all evil. And that has been so confused by so many people to think that money itself is evil. And what it's really saying is if your whole focus is on money, and that's all you focus on is money, then that's not going to be in balance for you. But it does not really indicate that money itself, of course, there's so many other scriptures that talk about your Father knows what you have need of before you even ask. Ask and it is given. Take no thought for what you shall eat or what you shall wear. There's all kinds of other scriptures that let us know that our needs are supposed to be met, that we are supposed to be fulfilled, that it is divinely ordained that we be prosperous, abundant, and well. And it is really the truth of our being. I want to also share a couple quotes from Emmett Fox in a kind of an older book called Power Through Constructive Thinking. And Emmett Fox was a New Thought spiritual teacher and writer, sort of a contemporary of Ernest Holmes, writing around the same time as Ernest Holmes. And this is what Emmett Fox said. He said, people think of their supply as coming from certain investments or from a business or from an employer, perhaps, whereas these are merely the channels through which it comes, God being the source. The number of possible channels is infinite. The source is one. The number of possible channels is infinite. The source is one. So we have one source through which it all comes. And so Emmett Fox goes further to say, the particular channel through which you are getting your supply is quite likely to change because change is the cosmic law of manifestation. Stagnation is really death. But as long as you realize that the source of your supply is the one unchangeable spirit, all is well. The fading out of one channel will be but the signal for the opening of another. And I posted this on Facebook at one time, and it seemed like I could almost detect and feel through the ethers like a gasp when it says the channels of your supply will likely change, right? We get very nervous, many of us, about that, right? Like if we're at risk of losing our job or our business is at risk, we get very nervous about that, right? And when we hear about people losing a job, we say, oh my God, how terrible, right? But what he is saying here is that once we don't make that job or that current channel that our income, that our prosperity is coming through, as long as we don't turn that into the source in our minds, and we recognize, excuse me, that that is just a channel that the one source is currently using, we start to have a different relationship to it. And so it puts us in the flow of life rather than resisting life. It puts us in the flow rather than holding on and grasping onto what the particular channel is that we can see right now. And I've had this great experience in my life, especially since I came into Science of Mind, where my particular journey involved letting go of channels of prosperity before the next channel showed up physically and visibly. And so I was part of my journey. It's not most people's journey, but part of my journey has been on at least 3 major occasions in my life, I have let go of one position, one channel of income before I could see where the next channel was going to be from. And in my background and upbringing, that was not totally a natural thing for me. And yet it was very clear that that was what I needed to do. And it has taught me so much, because it really is true that that next channel appears. And most of us, if we really look at our lives, we have evidence of that, because most of us have worked more than one job. Most of us have had our prosperity come through more than one channel. Most of us have had different channels that went away for various reasons, and we have the evidence that a new channel appeared, a new vehicle, a new avenue for our prosperity appeared. And this is the way that life works, that there's one source, but it uses infinite number of channels. And our only error we make is, as I said a moment ago, when we make the channel the source. So in other words, we start to make that our God. We start to make our job like our God, as opposed to, oh, let me be grateful for this particular channel for however long it lasts. If it lasts for 30 years, beautiful. If it lasts for 5 years, beautiful. Whatever it is, it's just a channel. It's not the source. And so what it also does when we start to realize and focus in on the spirit within as my unlimited source, is it also starts to expand the number of ways that our prosperity comes in. So whereas when we really start to just focus in on this is my source, meaning the channel, you know, whether it be a Social Security check or a job or an investment or a business, we start to close off the infinite number of channels that Spirit has to prosper and bless us. And so once we let go of the idea that the channel is the source, now we open up and find that even though one thing might be the largest, like our job or our business might be the largest way, or it might not be even be the largest way that our income comes in, that Spirit, we start, as we open up and let go of that being our source, we start to find our prosperity coming from all different directions. Now, before anyone says, you know, prosperity is about more than just money, yes, absolutely, it's about more than just money. There's so many ways that we can be blessed and prospered that have nothing to do with money. The reason why I like to talk about money is because that is the one area we seem to have the most energy around. You know, that's the one area that is sticky for us. And most of these other areas don't have that energy around them. We don't have energy around when we're manifesting just joy, or we're manifesting a relationship, or all the other ways that we can be prospered in our life. But money, you know, because of all the ways that it's been mistaught about, and this scripture that was misused around it, you know, which led people to think that money is evil or materialism is evil. And it's really only when you are out of balance with it that it causes problems. When we're so focused on the material that we forget what truly brings us happiness, as Ralph sung in his song, or at least as I interpret it, this joy within us that really is ultimately our fulfillment already. We're already fulfilled, and all the rest of these things are the added things, right? The added things to our life, the gravy, the icing on the cake. And how beautiful life is, that in addition to just that inner joy and all of that, that we can also have our creature comforts met. We can also have our material needs met. We can also have the freedom to move about in life and express ourselves fully. This great freedom that we can have, that sometimes involves us having to have a good relationship with money, that we neither worship money nor shun money. It's just one of the things in life that we use. We use money for various purposes. And so we don't have to have a, go to the extremes in either direction. We just treat it naturally like everything else, like a relationship, like anything else that we can think of in our lives. Money's just one other thing. It's not better, it's not worse. It's just a thing that can come in handy at times and become useful at times. And so why should we have any attitude about money that's unlike anything else? It's like, it's a thing. In life, it can be really helpful. It can be really convenient. And for me, I've always said that given the choice, I'd always rather have more than less when it comes to money. So we're talking about today this invisible substance, this clay, if you will, that we get to mold. And the first thing we need to do in molding that clay is to recognize how abundant this universe is that we live in. So let's just take a moment before I close to just talk about some ways to step into the abundance of life. If we're feeling like that we're in lack and limitation, we need to start noticing all the ways that life is so abundant. The number of grains of sand on just one beach, we can't even count them. There's so many, right? And then there's the statistic I've been hearing recently that just is mind-blowing, that as many grains of sand as there are on a beach, that there are more stars in our universe than there are grains of sand on every beach on Earth. Is that not mind-blowing or what? That's amazing abundance, that there are that many stars and worlds out there, really. And then think about the number of blades of grass on one lawn. Again, we couldn't even count them. There are so many. The number of leaves on one tree. Amazing how many leaves are just on one tree, especially when the fall comes and you have to rake them. You realize, oh my goodness, there's no end to this. We live in an abundant universe, and we are the microcosm of that. We are the microcosm of that. And just as the divine intelligence maintains our bodies, right? There's so many things going on, billions of processes going on all the time in our bodies that we're not directing, not even aware of, that allow for our cells to regenerate, allow for digestion and elimination, allow for all of our organs to function in the perfect way that they're meant to function. This is an infinite intelligence that is working through this. And in the same way, this infinite intelligence is working through us to provide for everything we need in the body of our affairs as well, in our lives as well. And so we get to recognize I live in an abundant universe, and to start to align with that, to start to align with it, that I live in an abundant universe, that the life is responding to me and it's corresponding to my thoughts, my beliefs, my attitudes, ultimately my vibration and how I'm showing up to life. And so then we start to shift that. We start to affirm that I am rich and prosperous, or whatever it is for us. We start to affirm, we start to claim, we start to declare, we start to say, I'd be willing to experience something greater. One of my funniest things was when I would think about people would talk about winning the lottery. And when I would think about that, I still don't play the lottery. It's not about the lottery, but it was interesting to me to notice at one point in my life that the thought of winning the lottery to me, if I were one to play the lottery, was not a positive thought. And it really made me see how much I believed that I did not deserve prosperity to come with any sort of ease, that I would only be able to accept it if it came through blood, sweat, and tears. And so that's the filter through which I created my prosperity. I could create great prosperity as long as there were a lot of blood, sweat, and tears involved, until I decided that I didn't need blood, sweat, and tears. Now, I still, work a lot of hours and do, put a lot of energy into generating the various prosperity that I have, but it's not through struggle and strain. In fact, everything for the past couple decades has been through joy, has been through just serving in my calling, serving in my purpose, and then, by the way, getting prospered in that as well. I like that a lot better. And so for you today, the invitation is to really recognize that spirit within you is your unlimited source. And so that energy that goes forth from you, that energy field that goes forth from you, is radiating something, and you get to choose what it is that you are radiating. Are you radiating this energy of abundance, that you live in an abundant universe and that you are deserving of all good, and that you claim and accept the abundance that is yours to live the most prosperous, free, blessed, uplifted life that you could possibly imagine? And so we get to choose, what am I, that energy field that's coming out from me, that is being impressed upon a creative medium and a law. What's the quality of that? What's the content of that? And then recognize that my life corresponds to the quality of that which I am putting forth into that creative medium. And so the invitation today is to recognize and claim and accept the infinite abundance that is yours, and to mold it like clay in your hands, and choose what it is that you will put forth into that creative medium and enjoy it all. You deserve it. You are worthy. It is all given, and it is yours to accept. God bless you. And let us turn within for prayer. And so in this moment, in this moment, let us recognize that spirit is all that there is. There's just one power and presence, and it is a power of love and wholeness and harmony, and it is ever giving of itself. And that this one life is my life, and it is the life of each person listening and watching this service. And so knowing that this is our life, and knowing that there is nothing opposed to us and everything working for us, everything, the universe saying yes. I know right now that we are so uplifted into this prosperity consciousness. We are so uplifted into the freedom that life is offering us, to freely give our gifts, to freely show up, to freely have and do and be that which is our souls to have and do and be, that allows for the greatest freedom, the greatest expansion, the greatest offering of our gifts to the world. I know that this is truly what is taking place. And so I am just so grateful for this truth, for this awareness, and for all the good that is unfolding for each one of us and for our spiritual community right here and right now. In great gratitude, I release this word to that immutable law. And I know, like clay in my hands, that this law just seizes upon my word and creates exactly what I have declared. And so I know it is done and all is well. I let it be, and I invite each one to ground it with me with the words, and so it is.
Here comes that changing time of year. Springtime flowers have all disappeared. Things that were growing now are slowing. There'll be no more mowing of the summer's gone. The autumn leaves are changing hue. October skies are bluest blue. The harvest bins are overflowing. It'll be snowing on the lawn soon, 'cause summer's gone. That's what I like about the season. They keep on turning and then returning like rhyme and reason. I feel a chill that's in the air. Search through the closet, find something warm to wear. It's time to turn the furnace on. It's early sunsets and later dawns. Summer's gone. That's what I like about the seasons. They keep on turning and then returning like rhyme and reason. Here comes that changing time of year. Summer flowers have all but disappeared. The harvest moon is softly glowing. There'll be no more showing off your tan. The summer's gone. No more mowing of the lawn. The summer's gone. Early sunsets and later dawns. The summer's gone. And then here come the holidays. Well, just bring them on. The summer's gone, and after that comes springtime. On and on and on and on and on. Now summer's gone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph. Summer is gone. Although yesterday was my birthday and I did make it to the beach, and the beach had quite a few people out there. So it still felt like summer, but yes, absolutely. Thank you for that beautiful song and that beautiful energy that you bring, Ralph. It is time for the giving of our gifts. Thank you so much for the ways that you continue to support our spiritual community during these times. And we are honored to be able to continue to support you spiritually. And we appreciate fully the gifts and donations and tithes that you give to CCSL. Your donations are important because they help us fulfill the vision statement of creating a world that works for everyone. And so as we engage in the law of circulation, we remember that God is our source, as we talked about in the talk here, and that we are circulating Spirit's energy. And we'll have some talks on that later in the month about the law of circulation. That's also a key aspect of prosperity. And so we engage this law of circulation. Remember that God is our source, and we're circulating Spirit's energy in the form of money by giving and receiving. Please say our affirmation with me right now. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
When I open my heart, when I feel it glow, when I open my heart, I let the love flow, let it flow. Whoa. When I open my heart, when I open my heart. When I open my heart, I let the love flow, let it flow. When I open my heart, when I open my heart, when I feel it glow, glow. When I open up my heart, I am the place where all the love flows, let it flow. Light me up, fill me up, open up, whoa, 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 heart. Light me up, fill me up, open up. When I open my heart, when I open my heart, when I feel it glow. When I open my heart, I am the place where love flows. Let it flow.
Summer may be gone and change is a-comin', yet through all this transition, I am so grateful that the love is still flowing and we are still here and our oneness remains. Holy gratitude to all who contribute to and participate in this service, and especially all of you present here today. I know that the gifts presented here are given and received with love, joy, and a sense of abundance and prosperity coming from infinite source. Thankful that we are all one, and for the many gifts we bring, together we sing.
And so it is, and so we let it be. And so it is, and so we let it be.
Yes. And let us thank our practitioners today, Joanie Bauman and Janelle Carroll, and let us thank Jay Westfall, who provided our reading today. Also our featured soloists, Ralph Leeseberg, along with Carissa Holmes and Tony Bernardo on piano, Joe Nelson on drums, Steve Parakis on bass, all of our beloveds, our beautiful, talented crew here who have collaborated their musical talents to provide the music for today. Thank you for all of you who are with us today for our Sunday celebration service. And if you are joining us for the very first time today, we welcome. Thank you for being here. So glad you could join us, and we would love to send you a welcome packet in the mail with information about us, and you can just contact the office or send us a private Facebook message. And if any of you are not receiving information, do the same. Send us a message or contact the office. We want to make sure you are getting all the information about what we're up to. And so let us say this blessing together now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is.
All right, I want to see everybody up. Turn your video on. Let me see you move.
I'm so excited, so delighted. You're invited to join me in joy. I'm so excited, so delighted. You're invited to join me in joy. It's rising up and I can't do nothing about it. It's rising up and I can't do nothing about it. It's rising up and I can't do nothing about it. It's rising up and I can't do nothing about it. Hey, I'm so excited, so delighted. You're invited to join me in joy. I'm so excited, so delighted. You're invited to join me in joy. It's rising up and I can't do nothing about it. It's rising up and I can't do nothing delighted. You're invited to join me in joy. I'm so excited, so delighted. You're invited to join me in joy.
Peace, blessings, prosperity, and abundance. We love you.